I found this Mammy doll from the Gone with the Wind movie greats collection in March 2025 at an estate sale in Bridgeport. I paid $6. The doll was made by World Doll in 1989. At first glance, she looks vintage, but she's actually a late 20th century collectible. She has a vinyl head and cloth body, dressed in the familiar black dress, apron, and head wrap, instantly recognizable as the Mammy character. Her hang tag ties her directly to MGM's Gone with the Wind and to Turner Entertainment, who licensed the doll for collectors. She represents Mammy, the character played in 1939 by Hattie McDaniel. McDaniel made history as the first black actor to win an Academy Award, but the role itself came straight out of Stereotype, the smiling, loyal black woman devoted to serving white families. That stereotype, known as the Mammy figure, was invented during and after slavery to rewrite history, to suggest enslaved women were happy and nurturing, content in their servitude. It softened the brutality of slavery and instead romanticized the Old South. So why would a doll like this exist in 1989? By the late 80s, Gone with the Wind was still one of Hollywood's most profitable films. Turner Entertainment was heavily promoting it, and dolls like this were marketed to adult collectors. What they were really selling was nostalgia, not for slavery itself, but for the myth of the faithful Mammy, wrapped in Hollywood glamour. Alongside this doll, I also have a painting of the Smithtown Theater by Joanne Coretti, with Gone with the Wind on the marquee. It was passed down to me from a friend, and I was originally drawn to it for the old theater architecture, but I didn't know what the movie represented. Now, with the doll and the painting together, the pairing shows how deeply the film was woven into American life, not just as entertainment, but as a cultural event. Movie houses across the country made it a centerpiece of memory, reinforcing the Old South as something beautiful and worth cherishing. Scholar Robin Bernstein helps us see what's really happening here. She describes dolls and objects like these as tools of racial innocence, things that look harmless, even charming, but that quietly teach racial lessons. This doll, paired with the endless rescreenings of the movie, invited audiences to see the Mammy stereotype as comforting and safe, while hiding the violence and exploitation it was built on. That's what makes this doll and even the theater painting so important to think about. They're not just collectibles or pretty images. They're evidence of how racial stereotypes survived long after slavery, not shouted openly, but sold and celebrated through toys, souvenirs, and movie marquees. Today, this doll is a time capsule of how racism was packaged as nostalgia, teaching us that the legacies of slavery and segregation didn't simply fade away. They lingered in popular culture right on our shelves and on our street corners.